Welcome to Design Your Life with Sandy. If you're new here, I am your host, Sandy Yang. This is a place where we have real conversations about life, love, spirituality, personal growth, and of course, manifestation. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to your November energy update. Today, we're talking about the month of November, what we need to know for our highest and greatest good. As always, I am channeling from the Akasha Records. I have my spirit team all around me, so I'm co creating this episode with them. As always, I encourage you to take what resonates from this episode and just leave the rest. Use your intuition. A lot of people are going to receive this episode, and there might be messages you're like, that's probably not for me. So use your intuition, use your discernment. Your intuition is really your internal truth system for guiding you in your own life. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's just get right into it, okay? So November feels juicy this year. 2/3 of November is Scorpio sun season, but actually, we've been working with a lot of Scorpio energy throughout October with Mars being in Scorpio. Mars loves to be in Scorpio. We also have Mercury in Scorpio. So we've been in this Scorpionic energy for a while now. I would say September and October, we've done a lot of inner work. As you know, September, we went through eclipse season, and October was a lot of integration of the activations from the eclipses. So, and as I was saying, with Mars in Scorpio, previously it just moved into Sagittarius, where it will be for a while. So, Mars loves being in Scorpio. Scorpio has two rulers. Traditional ruler is Mars, modern ruler is Pluto. Both are very powerful energies. Mars is very much like, let me go for it. Let me dive into this. Let me overcome the challenge. Let me just do the thing. And Pluto very much speaks to power dynamics, power struggles, insecurities, death and rebirth. So this energy that we just moved out of, this Mars and Scorpio energy, was extremely supportive for addressing a lot of, I want to say, insecurities, transmuting shadow aspects, alchemy. And this reminds me, we just went through Halloween. This past Halloween 2025 was the first Halloween in a very long time that I actually, put on an outfit and went somewhere. It's not really my thing, but I have a witch outfit, and by that I mean I have a black top, a black skirt, and one of those headbands with a cute witch hat on it. And that day, it was just really clear to me, like, you know, if you're here, you are definitely someone who is very spiritually curious. You probably are immersed in the world of healing, manifestation, expanding your consciousness. And I feel like Halloween is just an annual reminder that a witch is just a woman who possesses immense spiritual power, who has autonomy. And that's really powerful as fuck. This is a woman who isn't afraid of the darkness. This is fierce feminine energy. This is dark feminine energy. And I have been realizing that people interpret dark feminine energy very differently. To me, it is just, we talk about the divine feminine, but dark feminine energy is just an expression of the divine feminine. She's fierce. She isn't afraid of darkness. She isn't afraid of her own shadow. She is not afraid to go into the depth of her own darkness. She is here to transmute shit, okay? She is here to transmute darkness into light. She is fearless, to say the least. Okay, so that was October. You have again done the inner work knowingly or unknowingly, and November just feels like you are reaping the benefits. Your effort is paying off and is like, I don't want to say rapid transformation, but it's like I am just now anchored fully in my power, and it feels fresh, it feels empowering, I feel lighter, yet I am so potent. It's kind of like you simultaneously energetically feel brighter and lighter, but you also feel like your field is potent and powerful. So it's really screaming Empress energy. I feel like you're someone who perhaps is very familiar with the high priestess archetype. Like, you are very intuitive, you're guided by your intuition. I feel like you're coming and, like, yeah, like the high priestess, she is here to transmute shit. Like, high priestess and witch, they're kind of like both like alchemists, right? And like, you've done enough of that work. Now you're moving into Empress energy, where you're still very intuitive, you're very magnetic, but you are just like anchored in your creative power, where you are out and about more. You are realizing that, hey, like, a lot of people have actually had their eyes on me for a while now, and I just didn't know. I feel like this month of November and moving forward, you're going to realize, like, oh my God, I am very magnetic, and my auric field just feels stronger. And you might feel like more outgoing. I'm getting that you're going to get more invitations to, go to different parties and dinners. And I'm seeing like Three of Cups. You're no longer in hermit mode. It's like now you're like a beautiful butterfly. You're magnetic. People want to be around you. People cannot get enough of your energy. And that might feel like, oh my God, such a breath of fresh air after maybe like being in the hermit mode for a little bit. I feel like your sense of self is going to change. Like, you're just stepping into your confidence, stepping into your Empress energy, stepping into like this sense of deservingness and worthiness. And when I say Empress energy, I am talking about someone who is co creating with the universe. And she, is courageously taking a line action after a line action, guided by her intuition. Obviously, she might not always feel fearless, but she always chooses courage over fear. She is boundaried. She is not afraid to say no. She doesn't shrink herself, and it doesn't always necessarily comes easily to her, but she chooses abundance over lack. She chooses aligned action over shrinking. So, yeah, I feel like this is the energy you are stepping into or have been stepping into, and or for some of you will be stepping into very soon. And maybe I'm just speaking to you predictively and activating that energy within you. Wherever you are is perfectly great, and there's no rush, right? Speaking of the Empress archetype or Empress energy, she is grounded within herself. She is anchored in her seat of power. She is not in a rush. She doesn't make decisions out of fear. Like, she might have to, again, like, take a second to be like, okay, like, how can I alchemize my fear? How can I turn this into courage? But like, she makes decisions. She does things from a place of alignment and abundance. She's not afraid of her power. Like I mentioned, she co-creates with the universe. And when you are co creating with the universe, you welcome whatever comes your way. You might not love everything that's being thrown at you by the universe, but she is not afraid of Mercury retrograde, which we will have starting from November 9th to November 29th. She's just very at ease. She is grounded in her own power. She understands the planets are always doing something. Like there are always something that is in retrograde. There's like, always like a crazy full moon or like an eclipse. She is not afraid of all the shifts that is happening. She isn't afraid of that shit. She's just like, okay, like I co-create with the universe. So whatever planetary shifts that is happening, which is completely out of my control, is for the greater good. So she's not like overthinking about that. She's not like overly worried about the future or holding on to the past. She's just like very grounded in the present. I see someone like they pull all aspects of their energy back into the present moment and get her energy right and create the future from that place. That is the energy that is available in November for you. So step into your Empress energy. So it's almost like the universe, your spirit guides, divine source is just like inviting you to step into that energy. The high priestess is obviously very powerful, but the empress is kind of like one step above that. She is fully committed to her life on earth. She wants to experience all the abundance that is available in the 3D. She's enjoying her life. Yes, she has inner work to do and she has stuff to overcome. She has stuff to heal, but she understands that life is meant to be joyful, deeply meaningful, and purposeful. And she's like here for it. And that might also just be a message for whoever is listening that it is so important that, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Your soul chose to come to earth this lifetime. And I totally understand. Sometimes we're like, oh my God, like earth life is so heavy and what the fuck is wrong with those people? And it feels messy, but like it can also be so enriching. And this is so aligned with the full moon on November 5th. Taurus is ruled by Venus and it's all about enjoyment and being grounded and being rooted. Taurus loves to enjoy yummy food and just immerse itself in the abundance of the physical world. Obviously, we all know that sometimes that can manifest into overindulgence. But I feel like this full moon is really here to remind us that, like, you are already here and you get to choose to immerse yourself in earth life and soak it all up and be present. So much for you to enjoy. Whether that is, you know, wearing clothing that is like very beautiful, that feels so good to your skin, or just amazing friendships and relationships that like feel like soul family, or, even like something really simple like a beautiful sunset or just being out in nature. So there's so much for you to enjoy here on earth. So, big message around grounding oneself in the present moment. So, I share this on Instagram for this week's energy update, but this is coming up again. I see this all the time, and I have my own share of this myself. It's like in this line of work, when you're someone who is immersed in spirituality, sometimes, like again, we can be like, oh my God, like life is so hard. Like, earth life is so heavy, and I know my soul is here now but belongs in higher dimensions. We could be unintentionally resisting life on earth. It's like we're halfway in, halfway out. And actually, I just had like a few client sessions focusing on this. This halfway in, halfway out energy is not comfortable. It's like resisting to be fully here. It's like your energy is hanging out mostly in the upper chakras, and like you don't feel very grounded and you feel a little scattered. This can manifest into overly trying to figure out spiritual matters that inherently just don't have an answer. Like, those matters sometimes are just meant to be mysterious. You're not meant to have the answer. You're meant to just like live life and have it present yourself to you. And when we resist human life, we are unintentionally attracting in more resistance. We are unintentionally pushing away physical abundance. So that includes money. We can accidentally, again, this is like unintentional, call in more ego deaths. Ego deaths are not a bad thing. Obviously, like in our expansion and healing, we are going to go through ego deaths where we feel like, you know, my worldview is shifting very quickly in a very big way, and I don't know what the fuck is happening. So it's kind of like that. But like when we are attracting in unnecessary ego deaths, it's like the guides are saying this doesn't have to be that difficult. If you would just commit yourself to your life on earth, this would be so much easier. So we don't want to attract in unnecessary difficulties and challenges and ego deaths. By committing to life on earth, it feels like you are just more in the energy of allowance, understanding that you are divinely supported, you're divinely guided, and life is always working itself out in your favor. And when we're in the energy of allowance, we're actually just getting out of the way. So, this is actually important. In my practice, I feel like I'm really good at helping people overcome heartbreaks, healing from breakups, building confidence, that kind of thing. And when it comes to healing from heartbreak, I often hear people say, I know this is going to be hard. I know this is going to take a long time. And I understand, like, yes, they had just come out of this long relationship that was a big part of their life. But and I understand, like, like healing from heartbreak is not easy, but sometimes it's almost like a self-defense mechanism, is that we want to prepare ourselves for what is to come. So we tell ourselves, like, this is going to take a long time, and this is not going to be easy. But like, healing is a very feminine process. Their spirit team is always like, okay, like, we need to, again, like, step into the energy of allowance. Allow your heart to heal and allow every day to just get a little better. It's like, I allow myself to be happier than I was. I allow myself to heal. And, healing is such a feminine process. And sometimes people think they have to heal harder or be more disciplined with their healing. And that kind of just creates more resistance. It's like, I allow this block to dissolve. And yes, I'm going to do the inner work that is required of me, but I also understand the healing process has a life of its own, and my heart wants to be whole. So I'm going to lean into the energy of allowance and just like allow my heart to heal. Okay, so we're talking about the Empress not being afraid of external shifts in the planets. Okay, so yeah, like the Empress understands she's here to like flow with the energy and co-create with the energy. And I was telling someone about eclipses. Eclipses are fucking powerful. Like, I literally feel like I shedded a layer I didn't even know I had. And post eclipse, I just feel so authentically me in a way I never knew was available. So whatever the planets are doing, like whether it is a retrograde, a square, a conjunction, or whatever, those are like completely outside of our control. And, like every 2 weeks, we get like a new moon and a full moon. Those are almost like, those are almost like fated opportunities that kick our butts back into alignment. And, those astrological events in a way ensures that we are living out the life that we created for ourselves on an oversoul level. And this is a new way that I'm like viewing manifestation. And I've been sharing this a lot more with the clients that I work with. I guess like until this summer, I will always think about like I need to manifest this and I need to heal this in order to be an energetic match for my manifestation. And I need to take this action and that action and do this thing and that thing. And it's actually very exhausting. Since working more deeply with the Akasha records, with the divinity tablets, which I am obsessed with. Divinity tablets is basically energy healing. I have a whole episode about that. So if you want to like scroll down a little bit, in the title, Divinity Tablets, before you incarnated into this lifetime, your oversoul, which is like the infinite version of you, is a collection of all of your experiences in all the lifetimes that you've lived. So your oversoul and your Akasha record keepers. Your Akasha record keepers are basically a team of high-level ascended masters, archangels, benevolent galactic beings that are contracted to support you in this lifetime. So your oversoul and your Akasha record keepers already created a plan for you for this lifetime. And this is a pretty great plan. Otherwise, it's like, why the fuck bother? So when I say you came here to live a joyful, deeply meaningful, and purposeful life, I'm not kidding. This is not just spiritual fluff. Like, your oversoul, your Akasha record keepers created a pretty epic plan for you in this lifetime. And your Akasha record keepers are here to help you in, bringing you the right support, making sure that you live out this plan and have all that you need and desire on a soul level. So there's already a plan. All right. Like, I'm not saying you're going to get everything you ever think you want, but you're going to get everything you need in order to live out this deeply meaningful and fulfilling life. So if you knew that all of your soulful desires are inevitably going to manifest and all of it is being divinely orchestrated, and yes, you would have to say yes when the opportunity presents itself. You will have to take aligned action. You can relax a little bit and just get out of the way. Get out of the way so the universe can do its thing, your spirit team can do their thing, and you just have to say yes when the opportunity presents itself, to be courageous in taking the aligned actions. So it's like all of the forces in the universe are trying to support you. And all you have to do is to get out of the way. And I'm not saying that's always easy. But it's like, where am I not choosing myself? Where am I shrinking myself? What are the actions and the habits that I do that self sabotage? And again, approach this from the energy of allowance. It's like, okay, I know this thing that I do sometimes is like sabotaging myself. I allow myself to stop doing that. I allow myself to choose something that is good for me. And I allow myself to make a better choice. I allow myself to choose something that elevates my spirit. Allow myself to choose something that's good for my mind, body, or soul. So I always talk about self devotion, especially like if we work on a one on one capacity. So, self devotion is kind of just like a feminine version of self discipline. I'm like a rebel. Okay. And for many years, for like all my life until maybe this year, I had always like always strive to be more disciplined, and because I'm also a rebel, I like rebel against myself, and it's like this whole thing. It was very annoying. And I realized trying to be more disciplined just created more resistance for me. Whereas when I approach it from self devotion, which is, more feminine energy, is like, oh, I do this because it's good for me. And I do this to honor my mind or body or soul. And I do this to honor my creator. And I talk about source a lot. Source is basically God. Um, and I talk about like divine sources within us. So God is within us, each and every one of us, and all around us. So by me doing something that is good for me, I am honoring divine source. And that just like helped me so much. Ever since I realized that, it's almost like I have a bigger prefrontal cortex. And I've just been able to get myself to do the things I know I need to do. I procrastinate a lot less. My habits are so much better. It's been so much easier to kick the undesirable habits when I approach it from this attitude. It's like the bad habits or undesirable habits, they just like fall apart. They just fall away. Like, no, I don't want to binge watch Netflix till 3 a.m. anymore. I used to do that a lot. I don't want to overeat dessert. I don't want to waste time scrolling social media. I just find myself making better decisions, better choices with so much more ease. All right. Okay. Taurus full moon, we already talked about just being more committed to the 3D life. And you're someone whose consciousness is so expanded when you commit to the 3D life from that higher consciousness. The guides are saying, like, it's actually so fun here. Like, enjoy it. I also am getting the message that, especially with Mercury going to retrograde later this month, like November 9th through end of this month. So you're going to revisit some of the things you were pursuing before. Maybe it's projects that you worked on before that you set aside because it wasn't giving you the result you thought you wanted. Those things are going to come back, like past manifestations that quote unquote didn't come into fruition back then. The same desires are going to circulate back. For many of you, it will feel like, wow, like I forgot how much I love this thing. And you'll feel pulled to re engage with it. Obviously, it didn't come into fruition the way you thought it would before, previously. But this time, when it comes back around again, the guides are just saying, you have resources now that you didn't have before. And this can be financial resources, physical resources, connections, friendships, network you didn't have previously, or inner resourcing. You have so much more confidence. You're so much more competent. Your nervous system is way more regulated than previously. So this speaks to inner resourcing and external resourcing. This is very Taurus, by the way. So the guides are saying you now have resources you didn't have before. So you can revisit this project or thing you were pursuing, and this time is going to give you better results. Like through this process, all November, moving forward too, you're just going to realize, like, oh shit, I am so in my power, even just compared to a year ago or like earlier this year, 2025. I'm at such a different place in life and I'm so much more capable. I'm resourceful internally, externally, and it's amazing. I feel like something's just going to like turn all the way on. You're going to be like, oh shit, like life gets so much better. It's like your solar plexus is going to get like this huge, meaningful upgrade that you're like, wow, shit, I am the powerful one because you are the powerful one. So, okay, we talked about getting out of the way. So, speaking of Mercury retrograde, honestly, like we go through Mercury retrogrades like 3 times a year. It's so funny because last time Mercury was in retrograde was in July. And I just remember being a little cocky about it. Like, oh my God, it's like not even a big deal. And I'm just going to do whatever I want. Like, I am more powerful than Mercury retrograde. I recorded a July energy update and I just lost the file. This kind of shit doesn't happen to me. I just remember that was such an humbling moment. So Mercury retrograde is a time to practice patience and trusting in divine timing. Like if something is getting delayed, it is actually happening in your favor. And if something is getting redirected, it is also leading to something better than what you could even imagine. So, Mercury retrograde, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to you. I'm just getting the message that, all is well, all is in divine orchestration, and Mercury retrograde, just in its own way, going to help us further lean into that trust, which is good because we have to be okay with the natural shifts in rhythm. Some periods we're going to go through a growth phase where we feel like, oh my God, I'm on this upward trajectory. I'm so magnetic. Everything's working out for me. And some periods, it just feels a little slower. And you're very much like a plant. Sometimes you bloom, sometimes you don't. And I'm also getting that we have to honor and respect all phases of life. So we just had daylight saving weekend, which means we got an extra hour of sleep, but now it's getting darker earlier. And I feel like it's almost like nature is giving us permission to be cozy and rest more. Not like in a hermity way, but like, okay, I am going to let myself go to bed an hour earlier and like get some extra sleep. Like, I am going to choose to stay in. And I feel like the extra rest is going to prepare you for what is to come 2026 and beyond. Like, obviously, amazing things have happened for you. I'm sure amazing things have happened for me this year and the last several years. But since like 2019, it's been a lot more healing and shedding. 2025 was very much like a shedding year, like a release year. It's the year of the snake. Moving into 2026, the energy is going to shift in a profound way. 2019 started this, and like 2020 through 2025 is like shedding, healing, permitting a little bit. Obviously, I know you've achieved amazing things. I have too. But moving into 2026 is like creation. momentum. I'm getting like in my mind's eye, I'm getting the chariot card in the tarot. So it's like we are moving forward focused. And it's like the energy is like fiery. I do know that outer planets are going to be more in like fire and air. So that is going to feel very different to create, to be in your creative energy. You have to have this healthier relationship with resting and taking care of yourself. So allow yourself to sleep the extra hour, do the things that are naturally more restorative, and that's going to prepare us for what is to come in 2026 and beyond. One last message. So it lines up with the Taurus full moon on the 5th of November. Don't hold on too tightly to things. One of the not so great traits about Taurus is just being really stubborn, being afraid of change, holding on to things too tightly. So we don't want to do that. Again, you are on this era of upward trajectory. And the guys are saying, like, if there is a trigger, it is immediately followed by a healing. So if there is a problem, it is followed by a solution. This goes back to the message around like leaning into the energy of allowance. They're saying like don't hold on to things too tightly. It's like change is always happening. Change is inevitable. Change is the only constant. They're saying like you can rest assured that things are just like again upward trajectory. Things are getting better for you. Things have a life of its own. And it's like when you have a problem, there's also a solution. And if you have a trigger, there is also a healing immediately following the trigger. So it's like don't get like if you get triggered by something, it brings up like a bad memory, it brings up past hurt, like don't hold on to it too tightly. It's almost like this thing is coming up and then it's going to go. So let it come and go. It's like the energy wants to move and just like let it move and let things come and go. I'm getting also like because you're like on this path of expansion and upward trajectory, you're going to inevitably grow out of situations, certain relationships. Like you're going to grow out of things, and it's not a bad thing. It's not that you have to choose expansion or your friends. It's not like that. It's like if I, for whatever reason, lose a friend, like this friendship just feels expired, it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve this other person, I am not going to get into my head and think I need to choose expansion or choose myself or choose this person. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just acknowledge, like, okay, this doesn't serve me anymore. If it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve this other person. And I'm going to release it lovingly with gratitude, knowing that I'm going to come across even better friends down the line. So don't hold on to things too tightly. It's almost like loosen your grip so the energy can continue to move and align in your favor. Okay. Okay. Couple of announcements. I just released a new guided energy work slash meditation. So this is all about supporting your upward trajectory, whether you are currently in one, you feel like this phase of your life feels really expansive and you want to keep the good vibes going, energetically be supported when, doubts come up. This guided energy work is for you. or you are looking to call forward an upward trajectory, you want to anchor into that energy, this will also work beautifully. So this one is only 13 minutes long, which is perfect for me. Like sometimes I wake up and I don't want to do a full on 30-minute meditation, and it's such an easy yes. 13 minutes, no excuses. I actually used it earlier this afternoon because I was just needing like a little boost. My suggestion is to use this meditation consecutively for 10 days in a row to fully anchor into this upward trajectory frequency. Use it whenever you want, whenever you need a little energetic support. It is there for you. It is free. I am including the link in the show notes, so go grab it. November is all about Thanksgiving, and Black Friday is all about gratitude and discounts, right? On the 16th of November, that is a Sunday, I am doing a virtual energy healing event at 10 a.m. PST. The event is called Restore. So, as we approach the end of the year, you might be craving restoration. Holiday season can become quite hectic. So, join Restore. This is a free, nourishing energy healing experience to recalibrate your mind, body, and soul. Just recalibrating your entire existence back to harmony and balance. So, I would see this as a sacred pause, a space to reset your nervous system, clear out energetic debris and clutter, and reconnect with your center. So each person who signs up for Restore, aka this energy healing event, you will receive a 10-minute recorded Akasha Records reading from yours truly. So Akasha Records readings are basically like an intuitive psychic reading, but on steroids. We're tapping into your Akasha Records. Send in whatever question you want me to tune into. Think about what challenges you're overcoming, what you are manifesting. So it's just going to be 10 minutes of channel guidance from your records. 10 minutes is actually a lot. It's going to be juicy. Your recorded reading will be delivered within 3 days after the energy healing event. And all of this is a gift to you. So it's free. Spots are limited. Half of the spots are already gone. So if you're thinking about signing up, I would do so immediately. If you sign up, please make sure you can make it to the event. I am doing a Black Friday sale this year. By participating in Restore, you will have first dibs in the sale. Like there are limited packages I am selling is going to be buy one, get one. So is 2 sessions for the price of one. Pretty great, I know. So limited spots on that. By participating in Restore, you get to have early access to the sale. Okay, so that is our November energy update. I hope the messages are uplifting for you. I'm so excited about this month. All right, so go sign up for Restore. I'll see you there. Go grab the newest guided energy work. You will love it. I so appreciate you for listening. I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day, an amazing month of November, and I will talk to you in the next one.